We are joined now by Barnaba Benjamin. He is the Foreign Minister of South Sudan, live from Juba. And we thank you very much for joining us today, Minister. I'd like you to clear up one thing to start with. The rebels say that they control Malakal. You have claimed, or your government has claimed in the past, that you control it. What is the situation right now on this Tuesday?
The situation is that the government is in absolute control of the town of Malakal. The government troops since Monday morning moved in, and in fact there was no resistance on the side of the rebels. They had left the town, and the town is fully in control, under the government full control.
Okay, even if that is the case, you have to admit that
you know, it is the rebels who have been violating this.
Sorry, I think we've got a satellite delay here, so just bear with me. If that is the case, that the government holds Malakal, then what about the rest of the country? You clearly have to admit that they have they've managed to keep going. This war is still ongoing.
Well, the rest of... We have got 10 states in the Republic of South Sudan. The 7 states are under complete quiet. In the towns, in the states of Upper Nile, Unity and Jonglei, the government controls all the major towns and major areas. The rebels only are in some few counties, not more than 3 or 4 counties out of those 3 states. So the country is completely under the government control. The system is running. The executive, the legislative structures and everything are running in South Sudan today. So I can tell you, yes, the government is in control, controlling the insurgency. That's what's going on. It's true that in those areas where rebels have violated the cessation of hostilities, they have always attacked towns where civilians are also located. That's how the civilians get caught into the crossfire, because of the rebels attacked in those places.
Okay then, but what sort of control do you have, Minister, when 1.6 million of your people are internally displaced and thousands have been killed over the last 4 years? That's not control, that's chaos.
No, absolutely it is not true. What is happening, yes, South Sudan is a population of nearly 12 million people. And it's a country bigger than the whole of France. So when we say the government is controlled, it doesn't mean that a few areas where there is some insurgency, some civilians will have to be displaced. Even those who are displaced, the government is allowing humanitarian assistance to go back to them. So really to think that the country is in turmoil is not true. Where you see me now is completely calm, and that's how it is in most of the country. There are many countries in the world today which have got insurgencies. It doesn't mean that the whole country is in turmoil. And I think that is being resolved because the peace process is going forward in order to resolve this, except for the intransigent position of the rebel leader.
But
otherwise we would have had,
the peace process moving forward?
Would be just around the corner.
How is the peace process moving forward if there is still fighting and if they're starting to get to areas which control oil, which as we know is so important to South Sudan? How can you say the peace process is really moving forward? If it was moving forward, you should have come to some sort of agreement by now.
Well, that's why the government signed the cessation of hostilities in order to give the peace negotiations a chance. On the side of the government troops are under orders not in order to obey the the cessation of hostilities, except in cases of self-defense. This is when you get government forces responding to attack by the rebel side. But I can assure you peace process is going forward. We have got the Arusha Declaration agreement on the reunification of the party of the SPLM. Already, former detainees have already come back to Juba. That is a progress indeed. In fact, the dismissals of some of the members, including Dr. Yek, the rebel leader himself, have been revoked, virtually to the fact that he is now back as the first vice chair of the SPLM ruling party. So the peace process is going forward. In as far as the IGAD process is going, it is going to resume this month. After the independence celebrations, the IGAD countries are calling the continuation of the peace process. And after all, the government has made a lot of compromises, it's tremendous compromises. A unilateral ceasefire, a unilateral amnesty, revoking dismissals, unfreezing the assets of those who are in rebellion, accepting back some of the rebels who are now coming back, they are being accepted back into their units. So the government has made compromises which are encouraging and which bend towards peace.
Okay,
the relief agencies, we are allowing relief agencies to go even in areas where they think there are rebels.
Barnaba Benjamin, I will interrupt you there just because we may have problems with the satellite time now. Barnaba Benjamin
about peace.
Is the Foreign Minister of South Sudan.